Hello everybody, this is toysareruss, and for this new figure unboxing and review we're going to be looking at the Newage Legendary Heroes. This is their number 3 EX version. His name is Strategist Harry, but I'm going to be calling him Generation 1 Prowl for obvious reasons. So in this video, got to get rid of that glare first. We're going to do some comparisons with him and the standard version of himself. We're going to then do some comparisons of him and his Generation 1 original self. We can then of course bring in some other figures made by Newage, made indeed by Hasbro and Takara, just to give you an idea of the scale and size of this figure. So loads to get through with this video today. So as I start to pop all these away, I'd like to remind anybody who's not subscribed to the channel, if you'd like to hit that subscribe button for me now please, because it really will help me out. And also there's going to be a direct link to Show Z in the description, which is where I got this from, and as you can see they got him to me nice, quickly and safely. So he comes packaged in robot mode in a box like this, and for those of you wondering why he's not called Prowl, because he's made by Newage and because he transforms, he's not licensed by Hasbro or Takara, so they've got to call him exactly that, a different name. So as I said, this is the EX version. I believe that's because it's based on the toy, because it's pretty much got all the same decals as the toy has itself. It comes packaged in a clamshell like so, with 2 shoulder cannon accessories and indeed a blaster, which we'll have a look at in a second. If I turn that way, there's probably going to be no glare now. Perfect. He also comes with some instructions, which to be honest aren't too bad. Usually third-party instructions are really difficult to understand, and they usually are much more difficult than what this figure is. However, I have still uploaded a separate tutorial just to keep the main length of this video down. Right, let's have a look at the actual figure itself then. I think it looks really good, to be honest. I'm loving all the extra decals on it, and all the extra detail rather than decals, because they're tampergraphs, aren't they? It's got the police at the front. We've got the slightly different colour scheme for the windows. We definitely have at the back because they're all translucent. The articulation on this guy is brilliant. The head will turn side to side. It'll look up and down because it's on a mushroom peg. The arms will come all the way out to the sides. If you just move the doors back, which you can, no issue, you can then take the arms all the way around as well, unrestricted. There's a swivel because it's a ball and socket joint, and the wrist doesn't unfortunately swivel with this one. There is a waist swivel though, and is it, I think there is, yes, there's an actual ab crunch as well there. You can see that is not part of the transformation, that is what he can do. There's ball and sockets for the hips, so they'll go all the way to the front, all the way to the back, out to the sides as well. There's a bonus swivel underneath there. If you see that, that's an extra swivel as well as the ball and socket. There's a knee bend, there's ankle tilts and rock and heel sprue adjustment as well. So fully articulate, looking spectacular, to be honest. I think that's about it for first impressions. We're going to come back, he's going to be in his alternate mode, then the final part we'll come back and have a look at him with his accessories and do some comparisons. So here we are then in the alternate mode, and I've got to confess, I think this looks lovely. I love the translucent windows. I know that a lot of people don't like them, but I really like it. I think it just sets it off really nicely. Again, we've got all the extra tampergraphs, and just to prove it, here's the other version of this particular mold with the normal windows. You haven't got the translucent light bar, which you can see, and again it is just missing a lot of the details, but exactly the same mold, just missing a lot of the details. I'm definitely preferring this particular version. As I continue with the review, it's also a little bit bigger than Wheeljack. He was quite small as well, to be honest. With regards to the original, obviously a lot smaller, but you can see where they've got all of the homages from, all of the details. There we go, pretty much same details on the side, on the back, everything. It's very much like a scaled down but improved version of this. So, and you can really see that there as well. With regards to some other size comparisons, there's a G1 Minibot, there's a Earthrise Action Master, which is about that big, but he's much smaller, I say, than some of today's standard figures. There is your deluxe drag strip, and it's completely tiny compared to that. However, Again, the detail on these is really good. All the wheels are on individual pins. You can actually adjust that. You can move it about if you want to. You've got the detail of the tyre and the trim completely separate. Yes, you can tell it's a robot underneath, but it serves its purpose. It looks like a police car, the alternate mode, and it looks like Prowl did the Generation 1 toy. So to be honest, it's perfect. The only negative thing about it, but it's the same as the original, is there's nowhere to put or store any of the weapons. So if you're going to be displaying in alternate mode, the weapons are going to have to stay in the box or somewhere separate. But there you go, guys. Nothing more to say about this particular mode. Let's come back for the final time and do some more comparisons. Okay, back for the final time in his robot mode, and let's see how he looks with his accessories. So the gun is just a smaller, scaled down version of the G1 version, you can see there, but obviously without the chrome. This should fit into his hand. It should do. Yeah, there we go. It's just because it was brand new, obviously needed a bit of pushing in. And then this is, again, is very similar to the Generation 1 toy. You just slide these in over the top like so. There we go. That's them. And that, again, I just think just tops him off, just makes him look perfect. With regards to the original use of the mold, so without all the extra decals, etc., you can see there's quite a bit of difference. Is there a silver waist? No, that's the same. It's just, you know, the details on the shoulder, the details on the doors, the writing there. This one, in my opinion, I prefer this one, to be honest. Again, depends on which one you like. If you like the animation, this is animation. If you like the toy, this one's the toy. So let's bring in the toy. Let's pop that there. And it's funny seeing these. And the reason why it's funny seeing these, I've been reviewing a lot of the newer Newage figures, and although this is a much obviously improved, better articulated version than this, it's got the same flaws as the G1, which is unusual for Newage figures, and that is the gaps at the back. A lot of the newer figures don't have any gaps at all, but again, I always give every single figure, no matter who it's made by, the get out of jail for that, because it's at the back and it's not going to really be seen. So for me, it doesn't make any issues to it whatsoever. Here's some other Newage figures then. Bring them in. This is a really small one as well. I know that Sludge and Optimus Prime were bigger in the cartoon, but I don't remember them being perhaps that much bigger. But yeah, there's some Newage figures to give you an idea of size with that. Some other third-party companies. What have we got here? Iron Factory, Magic Square, and Dr. Wu. So these won't all scale together. This is mainly just to give you an idea of how big he is, depending on which toy line that you collect. So if you don't collect any of these at all and you're wondering how big he is, he's a little bit smaller than your standard Hasbro core class figure. He's a lot smaller than the deluxe, and that is a small deluxe figure. With regards to G1, that's not the biggest, but you can't even see Hot Rod's head. Let me keep bringing a few in. He's a little bit, or about the same size, no, maybe a little bit bigger than the G1 Minibot, but obviously way smaller than the G1 Optimus Prime. Right, I think that's pretty much it for comparisons and stuff. As I say, exactly the same mold as the other Prowl figure, just got the extra detail on him. Not much more to say about this guy at all. I prefer this. Let me know in the comments, guys, which version you prefer. Take care.